What up, it's Brandon here and welcome back to the Tip Trick series, a series where I teach you a new trick. And today we're going right back to basics with just a how to rollerblade. This video is for the absolute beginner, someone that is still trying to learn just how to roll around. Just a quick background on my skating. I am an aggressive rollerblader. If you don't know what that is, essentially the skateboarding of rollerblading. I do grinds and tricks and stuff. And I've been skating for a long time now, so I should have some good insights on teaching you how to do the basics, which is just rolling around. So I'm going to start off with my recommendations. So first off, I'm going to strongly recommend that you get some protective gear. And I mean the whole kit. I want you to get knee pads, elbow pads. The absolute minimum requirement I'm going to recommend is that you at least have a helmet. Second recommendation is that you try all of this on either some grass or some carpet, something really high friction that's going to stop you rolling too fast. Preferably flat as well, no hills or anything. That's probably common sense, but you're going to have a much better time trying this on some flat surfaces. And my third recommendation is that you are prepared to fall. Everyone who's ever rollerbladed has fallen over. They're probably falling over every day they skate. So you've got to be prepared to be falling over. Don't expect to go into this and not fall over. Okay. And that's all the recommendations I have. They are just recommendations. One of the most important parts of learning a new trick is that you feel comfortable. So just do whatever you feel most comfortable doing. So this can be quite a hard thing to teach just because it becomes quite automatic to anyone who knows how to rollerblade. So just keep that in mind when you're learning this. It might be so scary right now, but in no time at all, it's going to just feel like walking or running to you. So just hang in there for now. So we're going to start off with talking about how to just stand up in rollerblades. So there's two ways to do this. I'm going to call it the crawl and the side way. We'll start off with going into the crawl position. I would recommend this one the most. I feel like it's the most grounded and probably easiest to pick up. So I want you to get on the ground and be on your hands and knees in a crawling position. I want you to get your dominant foot and lift it up so it's flat right underneath your body. From here, you're going to slowly push up with your hands to get your other foot up as well. And from there, just slowly rise up, keeping yourself balanced over your feet. Make sure you try all of this slowly so you can see when it's going wrong. Be prepared to just lie in the grass or the carpet if something rolls out. The trick to this is just balance. It's something you got to learn. So you got to trial and error it a lot to learn where you can put your weight on the skates where they're not going to roll away. A thing to keep in mind is your skates can't roll sideways, obviously. They can't roll the way the wheels aren't facing. So you can put weight on them that way. But if you push them forward or back, they're going to roll, obviously. So yeah, just trial and error, you got to keep doing it. Try to keep yourself centered over your feet as you get to a stand position. Be sure not to stiffen up, just stay loose and comfortable, you know. Once you're up to standing up, you want to keep staying centered, keep loose and low, bend your knees a little bit. I would recommend that you lean forward a little bit. You never ever want to lean back, because when you lean back, you're going to fall back. And it's a lot more dangerous to fall back than forward. So if you're leaning forward too much and you fall forward, it's not going to be too bad, but only a little bit, okay? I've told some people that before and they've instantly leaned completely forward and then just blame me for falling front first down something, which I guess is fair, but yeah, you got just lean forward a little bit and brace yourself for falling forward. So yeah, like I said, this is all balanced, so it's a lot of trial and error. You just got to be patient with it and keep trying it. And eventually it'll be automatic. The other way to do it is from the side. I think this might be a bit harder, but it could be easier from some of you, so I recommend trying it out. Put your feet to your side, you put your dominant foot under you again, moving your weight from your hand to your foot, slowly getting your other foot under you and coming up from a squat. All nice and slow, exact same thing, centered. Once you're standing up there, bend your knees a little bit, be loose and comfortable and lean forward a tiny bit. Now as long as you're on grass or carpet, you should be fine here. You shouldn't start rolling or anything, but in case you do, you want your feet to be in kind of a V position, very loosely like this. This should stop you drifting forward or back. If your feet are parallel, you've got room to like roll forward and back. So you have them on a slight angle like this. It can go the other way as well if you like. But either way, whatever feels more comfortable for you. So now we're up and standing on the carpet or grass. I want you to practice balancing on just one foot. Being able to balance on one foot is a very important skill to have when rollerblading. It's going to help you with just your strides. It's going to help you if you trip up on something, and it's going to help you learn stops a lot easier. So I want you to just stand there and try balance on one foot. And once you feel confident on one, try the other. Really practice this out. Get really comfortable just staying on one foot. Once you're confident with the balance there, try when you're balancing on one foot, placing the other foot behind your other foot. This is hard to describe, but in an L position. This is how you'll stop if you don't have a break. So if you're rolling a little bit, you'll pick that foot up and put it sideways and put weight on it and you'll stop. Do that as well. Get comfortable with picking that foot up, balancing for a bit, placing it down in the L position on both feet. Once you're feeling very confident that you can balance on one foot on both sides, and you can go into this L position as well. Then we can move on to learning the stride. So once again, we should be on some grass or carpet. Carpet's probably better than grass for this one because you need a little bit less friction. The big mistake that I see every new rollerblader do is they treat rollerblading like walking or running. It's a different motion to walking or running. You're not picking your feet up and placing it in front of you like you're walking. It's a push and stride feeling. So it's more like you use this foot to push this foot off and you bring it back. So you push with this one, push this one away. So it's like a stride, 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 stride. Not a place, 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 place. So push, stride, push, stride. So that's the theory of it. We're gonna try do just one stride at first on the carpet here. So what I want you to do is pick whatever foot feels more comfortable for you. Use one foot to push the other one into a stride. As you do that, lean into that foot. Same rule as before where you're slightly leaning forward the whole time, prepared to fall forward, so have your hands in front of you. Not leaning back at any point. And just push that foot out, and once you've pushed it out, bring that foot back up to the other one to be parallel. So you're doing one stride here, step, and then landing with your feet parallel. The takeoff, your feet shouldn't be parallel, it should be a V again, where you push this foot away, like that. And once you've done that, you've done your first ever stride in rollerblading, so congrats. Now I want you to do the same thing again, but for the other foot. So just get that motion, pushing off that foot, and striding, and then coming back to parallel at the end. And once you've got that happening on both feet, combine the two and go from pushing with one foot back to parallel to pushing with the other foot and back to parallel. Try to do as many in a row as you can, and you're officially rollerblading on carpet, which is essentially it. Once you're super confident with doing that and it starts to feel natural, you're ready to take it off the carpet and grass and onto some concrete or wood or something smooth. So once you move over to the harder surface, start back at the very start of this video with just standing up, because it's going to feel different. Your wheels are going to move a lot easier, so you got to really be balancing on your feet. Remember to always slightly lean forward and be braced for a forward fall the whole time. And then just do the same steps, practice the push and stride, and you'll be rollerblading. So a new problem you might run into here is that you're going to actually be getting some momentum and you might need to stop. To stop, I'm going to recommend using your brake if you have one. And to do that, you're just going to put the brake foot in front of you and push your heel into the ground, and that should slow you down. But if you don't have a brake, like a lot of rollerbladers, we're going to do the L step I was talking about when you're learning to balance on one foot. This is where you're going to pick up one foot and then place it behind your other foot and drag it to slow you down. This is going to be quite hard to pick up because you really got to be confident with rolling on that one foot, otherwise you're going to spin. So you only lightly put that back foot down and have all your weight on your other foot. But that is going to be quite hard to learn on your first time rolling, so I'm going to recommend that you just don't get too much momentum at the start and you have like some grass or something to roll into off the concrete or wood, so it'll just slow you down naturally. Or maybe you have a wall or a friend to slow you down. But yeah, that's that. You've officially learned how to rollerblade, which is one of the most fun things to do in the world. So congratulations. From here, what I want you to practice doing that'll help you get better at rollerblading is number one, rolling on one foot. And this is just like the balancing one, but you're going to be rolling now. Try pick up one foot and roll on it for as long as you can on both feet and get really comfortable with that. And that's going to really, really help you with learning the stops without a brake, as well as recovering when you trip on one foot and stuff. It's just going to help you overall. So it's a good thing to work on as soon as you start learning to rollerblade. But yeah, that's it for this tutorial. I hope you learned how to rollerblade today. If you're looking to learn more of the aggressive style rollerblading, you should subscribe because I post a bunch of tutorials like this, as well as a lot of other stuff to do with that sport. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. A huge shout out to my patrons, Acosta Blades, Adam, Kevin, Chris, Deb, Dennis, Fabian, Joel, Lake Brothers Blading, Mark, Mike, Nathaniel, Sean, Sweet Moves, Tagi, Skids Grind Plates, and the Book of Grinds. And I'll see everyone later on. Peace out.